Earthquakes, the trembling earth. Introduction. Every year the earth shakes thousands of times, sometimes with barely a whisper, and other times with devastating force. Earthquakes are one of the most powerful natural phenomena, capable of reshaping landscapes and impacting millions of lives. But what causes these sudden tremors? How do they affect our planet? And how can we prepare for them? Let's explore the science and significance of earthquakes. What are earthquakes? An earthquake is the sudden shaking or trembling of the earth caused by movements within the planet's crust. Deep beneath the surface, tectonic plates, the massive pieces of rock that make up Earth's outer shell, are constantly moving. Most of the time, this movement is slow and steady, but when stress builds up along faults, fractures in the crust, the energy can be released suddenly, causing an earthquake. This release of energy sends seismic waves rippling through the earth, which is what we feel as shaking. The point underground where the earthquake begins is called the focus, while the point directly above it on the surface is known as the epicenter. Why do earthquakes happen? Earthquakes are closely tied to the movement of tectonic plates. These plates are like giant puzzle pieces floating on the semi-molten layer beneath the crust, known as the mantle. They can collide, pull apart, or slide past each other. Each of these movements can lead to an earthquake. For example, when two plates collide, they can create thrust faults, where one plate is forced upward. This type of movement caused the massive earthquake that hit Nepal in 2015. Meanwhile, when plates slide past each other, like along California's San Andreas Fault, strike-slip faults are formed. And when plates pull apart, like at mid-ocean ridges, normal faults occur. The power of earthquakes. Earthquakes are measured by their magnitude, which reflects the amount of energy released. This is commonly measured using the Richter scale or the moment magnitude scale, MW. A magnitude 2 earthquake might be barely noticeable, while a magnitude 7 or higher can cause widespread destruction. But it's not just the magnitude that determines the damage. The depth of the earthquake, the distance from the epicenter, and the type of ground all play a role. For instance, soft soil can amplify seismic waves, making the shaking worse. The impacts of earthquakes. Earthquakes can have a devastating impact on both natural and human environments. They can cause buildings, bridges, and roads to collapse, cutting off vital infrastructure. In coastal areas, underwater earthquakes can trigger tsunamis, massive ocean waves capable of flooding entire cities, as seen in the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. One of the deadliest secondary effects of earthquakes is landslides. When the ground is shaken, unstable slopes can give way, burying communities under tons of debris. Earthquakes can also damage water supplies, gas lines, and electrical grids, leading to fires, disease outbreaks, and long-term disruptions. Famous earthquakes in history. Throughout history, some earthquakes have left a lasting mark on the world. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake, for example, destroyed much of the city and sparked massive fires that burned for days.